you know that according to their statement, they said it was Spending that called the nurse? They did not include anybody in that house. They said it was Spending that called the nurse. They said Spending is a suspect. The Nigerian police, where will they use billions? They train. They said Spending is a suspect because Spending called the nurse when it was not Spending that actually called the nurse. I think it was Wunmi or DJ Bami that called the nurse. Why are they now coming out to tell us now that Spending is now the reason why Spending was locked in that prison or that cell or prison for 4 months is because they said Spending called the nurse when Spending was not actually the one that called the nurse. So now let us reason together as a people. Let us reason together as a people. Do I know Spending? No. Do I want to know him? No. Do I want to talk to him? No. Do I want to bring him here? No. Is he a suspect? Yes, according to them. Is he guilty? No. Is he innocent? I don't know. Is he guilty? I don't know. Do I care about him as a human? So now, you are now telling us now the reason why you locked Spending in the prison, Nigerian police or Lagos State Police, the reason why you locked Spending in that house in the prison for 4 months is because it was Spending that called the nurse when Spending was not actually the one that called the nurse. I think it was either DJ Bami or Wunmi that called the nurse.
Spending gave the number and then they call.
Spending gave the number.
Yes, that's how it was.
Now, if you want to put someone as a suspect,
Wunmi called the nurse.
Okay.
Arif said so on his platform. Wunmi called the nurse.
Okay. Now, if you want to say, if you say you put Spending in that place for 4 months for calling the nurse when he only gave the number. Okay, if you want to say, okay, Spending, we are actually going to put you in this place because you gave the number, then what about the person that called the nurse? So the person who called the nurse should be gallivanting up and down. Oh, I've removed this thing now. I'm sorry. Pardon me. 1 minute.
Wunmi use DJ Bami's number phone to call the nurse. That's just the problem.
The only thing they have in agreement between now, listen, please, if I'm wrong, correct me. The only thing they have together, the person that called and the person that gave, the only thing they have in common is the number. I gave the number, you called the number. I gave the number, you called the number. So if you are punishing the person who gave the number, shouldn't you also punish the person who called the number? Your Bible talk say, "Eni to ji epo, òun kọ́ ló lè. Eni to gba, ló lè." No be person wey steal oil, be thief. Na person wey collect the oil. You know say as this fence dey now. If person steal oil for this house, no be the person wey actually steal the oil be the real thief. Na the person wey collect am for house, and na that person go be the real thief. Because if that person no dey, this other person no go no go get that this thing, say him steal the oil.
Do you remember that Spending actually said he wasn't sure, then he wasn't aware that they actually followed up with the nurse. He gave the number, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Spending wasn't even there when they called the nurse. I don't know if anyone can recollect that.
MLH, I'm coming. I've been talking since morning. I'm not the only Miss Abi talk. You understand? My mouth said don't pay me. Get people who
No, I'm just reminding you this.
Yes,
you can talk about
it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It is if the person who gave the if you are punishing the person who gave the number, what about the person who called the number? So you believe that the person who gave the number can conspire with the nurse, but the person who called the nurse can also conspire with the nurse. For I won't shut my mouth. I don't talk for like 2 hours now, like saying I only miss a bit talk. When we say
to ask. As we all know, Spending gave the number for the nurse to be called before he left to go to wherever he's going. Now, my question is, what did they tell Spending exactly what is wrong with Mohbad for him to say they should call his nurse? That question they need to ask Spending on Wednesday. What did they tell you that is wrong with the nurse, with Mohbad, for you to give your own nurse the number to be called? That question is so necessary. We want to know who told him what was wrong with Mohbad.
Thank you, Queen of Energy. Wonderful question. I don't have answer to it yet. I don't have answer to it, but I want to quickly bring something to your notice. Then, do you know that they said, according to this report, they said it was Spending. There are about 8 people in that house, but the Nigerian police said it was Spending that noticed the excruciating pain, that Mohbad was in pain. So I asked myself one question. So of all the people waiting inside the house, with the wife, where they knock themselves. So now only Spending get head talk say Mohbad needs go hospital. So they are trying to show us a picture that this what's it called? This Spending has something against Mohbad, and now he is seeing opportunity to carry out his assignment. Because according to this statement, the Nigerian police told us here that when Spending noticed that Mohbad was in pain, Spending told Mohbad that he needs to go to the hospital, and Mohbad refused. Then Spending they now said Spending again told Mohbad that, okay, if you are not going to go to the hospital, let us call your nurse. And Mohbad said, okay, call the nurse. And when they called the nurse, the nurse said, it was not available. Then Spending now said, you see, it is now.
That means they are saying that Spending saw Mohbad in that pain. Right?
Yes.
Queen of Energy, correction, just answer you. He said, the question you asked he said, according to them, they said, he was told that Mohbad was sick and that they needed a nurse. He only sent the number to Wunmi, so he was told that Mohbad was sick. Now you guys are saying now that according to the police, the Spending saw Mohbad in pain and he suggested a nurse. So those are 2 different statements they need to look at.
So now Spending needs to tell us whether he saw or he didn't see.
Well, Queen of Energy, it's 2. It's not 1. Spending needs to tell us whether he saw or he was told.
Or he was told. Yes.
He saw him in pain or he was told. Hello?
Which one is which?
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to open the floor to our amazing people now. Mr. Andy, please, just 1 minute. Let Miss Fisayo be done. Miss Fisayo, let's have you. Thank you so much, Mr. Andy. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Yeah.
Hi guys.
Yeah.
Hi everyone. Happy Sunday. So my point of view is that Spending so more, because you can't tell us and come here and say that you saw Mohbad last on Monday at 9 p.m. So he did see Mo, and they probably had a conversation. So he did see him, or maybe he's lying. And also with the police report, that information was fed to the police. It was fed to them. It's interesting how they can name Spending, but they can't name the DJ, or they can't name Cynthia. And also another thing, the first nurse, Mo's nurse, advised Wunmi, take him to a pharmacy. She said, okay, but Wunmi did not, tell, the other guys that, I was advised to take Mo to the pharmacy. Instead, she probably just lied and said, oh, I couldn't get hold of the nurse. Oh, she's not available. So let's just go with Spending nurse instead. So she had to like, on the spot, she had to think of something like something quick, another action she had to take. So all the information was fed to the police. I don't think they did anything. I don't think they went to the house. They're definitely protecting Wunmi and co. And also the question we should ask the nurse if she does come to the coroner inquest is, who spoke to you? Who did you talk to? Who gave you the information that Mo is sick? Like, who did you communicate with? That is the main question, and then we can go from there, because no one is. The question has not been asked that who spoke to the nurse. Was it the DJ? Was it Spending, or was it Wunmi? Like, what did they tell you? if you know what I mean, because then it would then lead to where we're trying to go. If that makes sense. Oh yeah.
Okay. Thank you
Does
so
that
much,
make sense?
Mr. Sayo.
Do you understand what I said, or I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
understand it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Sayo. Really appreciate that. You know what? You're still coming up for. I'm still gonna bring you up, but pardon me. Let me quickly make use of your space. I have some requests that I want to bring up.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks.
I don't think
Now,
stop.
yeah. Okay. Mr. Andy. No, Mr. Lady, let's have you. Mr. Lady, let's have you.
Stop. Yeah. I think but we don't need to since the COVID now will be coming on Wednesday. I just believe that we are only just brainstorming on what we expect, but I want to believe they are going to say the truth and then what happened. But again, I like the way we broke down the police report, and then when we are breaking it down, we need to be checking the date and time. You know, there was a day I don't know the live I was then, but I was talking about, yeah, it was your live, yeah, because you quickly Googled Kuton into Aja, you get that night.
Yeah.
So, you know, according to them, they first reached out to the nurse at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. So definitely, something was already happening in the morning that Monday. If their point of call or their first point of contact to any nurse, either nurse Fumi or nurse Fee, happened from 2:30 p.m. Nigerian time. Mind you, that is like 1 hour after. That was 1 hour after Wunmi replied, "Prime boy, don't come for now." So something already happened to Mohbad in the morning of that Monday. If the first time they tried to contact the nurse was 2 p.m. Nigerian time on Monday, am I right?
Yeah.
Each talk. So now I'm not thinking maybe that 9 p.m. spending said was probably a mistake, or he was saying 9 a.m. Now Wednesday is when Ujubangba, you get, we don't know who is saying this or who is not saying this. But again, I want to assure people, we should just continue to follow up the case, continue to ask this question. Police is the problem here, and I'm going to say it irrespective of the nurse. If there was no nurse, if there was a fight, if there was no fight, the problem is still the Nigerian police. 100% I'll say it, because if they've done their job well, Wunmi should have been serving jail time by now. Darusha should have been serving jail time by now. Everyone in that house should be serving jail time by now, because that is the simplest homicide case ever, because there was a phone conversation. This is the Gen Z world right now. You get that everybody has a phone. I'm telling you, we have videos of things that happen in the house on the 10th and 11th. I can bet you. For them that have recorded Mohbad in the car, they have videos of what happened in the house. Forget all this nonsense they're talking about. Forget the thing Nigerian police is doing. If they've arrested all of them and taken their phone from them, they will see videos of what happened to Mohbad. Look at when the senator was there, they were videoing the senator. How much when Mohbad was in that pain? They will do the video. You understand? So it's just 72 hours away from now. On Wednesday, we go to the coroner inquest, and that's why I've been clamoring for it to happen. People have been saying, no, let's go to criminal court. No, if you go to criminal court, some of us will sleep. Because we are going to be dragging it. Look at ordinary DNA, we are about to be dragging this DNA matter now. And that is that you should know what happened. So we are going to the criminal court, and that's why, yes, this is what is going to happen. You understand? But I can tell you, there are videos, and Wunmi will not escape this thing. Honestly speaking, she won't. Someone was on the live and was saying, you guys are analyzing just to name Wunmi. No. Wunmi also try to name people too. And I see no reason why they're not going after spending. They're only after prime boy. We just said he is not a prime suspect. They're not the principal suspect. And that's why I want to give people who are always, who is the nurse? Where is she? What's her impact to all these things? But again, the timing is very, very important, and that's why we are asking. I was on Inquest day, and we list out a series of questions that could be asked to three of them, the not spending on prime boy, and those questions are very vital. And if we can get those questions, my own questions are time. The time will be there. How many minutes did you use from Mubad house to the pharmacy? And when you came back, what happened? What time did you leave Lekki? Did they say, Otipami Loko? Did they say something of such? What was the reaction? What was the partner reaction when Mubad died? I'm talking to the nurse now. These are the things we need to know. We need to know if she's an Odajuomo or she was just lying to us on social media. You understand? These are vital questions that should be asked on Wednesday. I want to hear, we want to know. We go hear so many things. And I believe we are going to get justice definitely. Now it's 100%. We get justice. Those guys in the house, they are in soup. They are in pot of soup. And they will not escape from it. Thank you, the Ishtok.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lady. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. I know you're still going to come up. Now, let me say this. A Stylistic asked a question. Very innocent question, right? He said, please, how are we sure that even if spending, Prime Boy and the nurse testify, the police will do a diligent job? Now, let me answer that question by saying, when the game started, or when this match, when it started 6 months ago, they did whatever it is they wanted to do. They handled it whatever way they wanted to handle it. But 6 months after, right? 6 months after, it is no longer the same justice for Mohbad that started 6 months ago that we are having now. The justice for Mohbad that started 6 months ago, is the justice for Mohbad for 6 months ago. The justice for Mohbad that we are having now is a redefined justice for Mohbad. Is it the justice for Mohbad that we had sometimes ago? Yes, is the blue man with the brown envelope justice for Mohbad. That was the justice for Mohbad then. But right about now, this justice for Mohbad, don't compare it with anything. If any police do, when we were in school, there's this song we used to sing. I don't know anything. Okay, I'm sorry, let me sing the song. I know radio don't used to play the song back then, maybe for 1 or 2 violations. But because of this thing, let me just play it here. He said, Eni to ba ta fe le fele, Eni to ba ta fe le fele. And boys, I don't know who sang that song. Hey, it was the band. It was the band. Eni to ba ta fe le fele, Eni to ba ta fe le fele. And boys, he said the justice for Mohbad we are the one, this second half that is happening now. It is any unlock to ba shebai. And boys. So, Stylistic. I hope that answers your question. Now, Mr.
Ish. Let me before I answer my question now.
Sure.
You know the coroner inquest is coming on Wednesday. I'm still on the matter of spending.
Okay.
And the nurse. The coroner inquest is coming on Wednesday. I'm not trying to tell the legal team what to do, or the police what to do, or the lawyer what to do. But for me personally, I feel that the nurse should be present, whether toxicologist and whatever ecology they are waiting for. She should be there like this Wednesday. Why did I say that? Because I wanted them to question she and spending together. Because I feel that if spending goes to speak, these people will try to change with the nurse. I don't know if I'm making sense. You understand? Because spending and the nurse, they need to be together in that court. I am telling you guys the honest truth. Whether you see it in my way or the legal team, sometimes you can see things that people don't actually see. Both of them need to be in that courtroom. I am telling you, we would get answers from there. Like this one that they are saying, only Prime Boy and spending. Wednesday will come now, will not make sense out of this thing. I'm just praying that will make sense. But two of that nurse and that spending need to be in court. Now spending nurse now, no be so.
Yeah, sure.
Okay? All right. Spending, you gave the number to the nurse. You gave the number to whoever called the nurse. All right, the nurse who called you, who spoke to you, what did they tell you that was wrong with Mo before you got to the house? Spending will talk. Spending will go back home. They will not find that story now to tell. They think self, it is well. Let me keep quiet. Let's see what will happen on Wednesday.
Okay, Queen of Energy, nice question, right? Flourish Cake. In the course of Mr. Andy giving his submission, he's going to provide answer to that. Is the corona one of? I'm sure we're going to get the answer while we are having some of the submission. Okay, I will check. Let me quickly go to Emelish Online. Emelish Online, let's have you.
Thank you, Ish. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So, well, I'm not going to say too much because, we've actually been analyzing for the past 6 months. So there probably won't be anything new. But I have a couple of questions to ask, maybe as part of the question that you're trying to compile. So my first question goes thus. Can we get a proof that the nurse came from Cotonou? That's my first question. Okay, because according to what we understand so far, this nurse was in Cotonou when they first contacted her, right? So can we get a proof? At least maybe a train ticket or maybe a bus ticket, anything just to prove that she was in Cotonou when they called her. If they can't get a call log to say the destination and the origin of the call. That's my first question. The second question is, why was Wunmi's eye swollen on the day Mohbad was buried? Right? That is very, very important. And my third question is, why was Mohbad moved from one room to another when the nurse arrived? I'm sure everybody heard that bit. The nurse said it was moved from one room to another. Why wasn't it treated in the room, where it was when she arrived, right? Okay, so that's number 3. Then number 4, how come they found syringes and other stuff that you mentioned earlier in the house after 9 days? So weren't those items supposed to have been cleared off? And the clothes, they still managed to find those syringes and all that, but the clothes that he wore has actually been washed. So why was that? Like the clothes that he wore that there was blood on it that could serve as an evidence. Why was that washed? But the syringes weren't cleared off, knowing well that the police was meant to visit. And then also, Adura did say he saw his brother last on Sunday, that nobody in the house would say they saw Mohbad past Sunday in the house. Right? So how come Fendi saw him 9 p.m. on Monday? I hope you're taking notes. Okay, so how come Fendi saw Mohbad 9 p.m. on Monday? But Adura, that lives with them in the house, did say affirmatively that no one would ever say they saw Mohbad past Sunday in the house. So these questions, we kind of need some clarifications. And, if the Mohbad's that team can, work on this. And I also want to ask, is it not possible to have like a press conference with the police where Mohbad's dad will be present, and then all these questions will be asked, and then, publicly, you understand, like a press conference kind of thing, like, and then all these questions, because I know there's so many questions that have come up for the past 6 months. So at least all these questions that people have on their mind, if it can be asked, and then the police can actually give us their own, insight on the question that, okay, this is what we found out, this is what we've done so far. Okay, you guys, you have the custody of the Prado Jeep. What's going on? What kind of investigation have you carried out? Did you find any blood whatsoever? Like you mentioned, it bled profusely. Where did you get that word profusely from? Was it from 26 people that you guys invited? Or how did you, come up with that profusely? Because so far now, Wunmi confirmed that there's nothing profusely. It was just a minor scratch on his hand. So this guy never bled or anything like that. Even though it kind of matches what Mohbad's dad saw in the house, where he said he saw a pool of blood, like a bedsheet soaked with blood. Okay, which kind of tallies with the profuse. But if we trace it back to when they left the event to the house, there wasn't anything like profuse bleeding. So at what point did they actually bleed profusely? So if they can clarify all of these questions, I think we're gonna head somewhere. And then most importantly, that what's the code, that press conference. If it's possible that they can organize such, just to clarify people's doubts around this whole thing, because with the whole happenings now, we all would agree that Wunmi is supposed to be in custody. I'm sorry to say, she's supposed to be in custody because she can actually answer all these questions, but she's never ever said anything towards this direction. Okay, so I'm not gonna say too much because I wouldn't want to take too much of our time, because we'll be talking about this for the past 6 months, but I can't wait for Wednesday to be here, to be honest. Anyway, thank you for the opportunity. All right. By the way, you're on mute. We can't hear you.
Emanation Line, thank you so much for that. Those questions that you have, I have them. Some of them will have.
You can introduce to someone that has been living in Nigeria or grown up in Nigeria.
Okay, if I may answer that, I think Spending was formerly in Nigeria, then he traveled to Kenya, then Mohbad invited him back to Nigeria, because I remember from the statements made by the nurse's mother that Spending has been using the...
Okay, oh yeah. Okay. What came to your mind?
If the nurse's mother said Spending has been using the nurse since 2019, and the nurse only had 3 years training,
Yes.
when did the nurse start?
Now you see why I said the nurse needs to be in this inquest. Are you seeing it now? You don't see him now?
Write it down, please. Write
Okay.
it down.
Now you see why I said the nurse needs to be there.
That's my question.
It is well.
No, justice for Mohbad. Can you just repeat the question? Yeah, I want to try to.
We were told that Spending doesn't live in Nigeria. That it was Mohbad that invited
But he
him
wants
back
to live in Nigeria, right?
But he won't live in Nigeria. But at what point did he have a nurse? And where did the nurse got qualified as a auxiliary nurse that started teaching people, treating people?
Okay, that's a good question. But that question is, I've not even thought about this before, though.
You understand?
Yeah.
Write it down, each
Now
talk.
the story is getting more tougher.
The nurse cannot be traveling to Kenya to be treating Spending. The nurse cannot be traveling to Kenya to be treating Spending. So how come now Spending and nurse can't get number?
No, the question now is when did she start learning because you can be learning this thing and still be treating people at home. Do I know that now for sure? Especially in Nigeria, we have some Muslims that still learning the whole
And
nothing.
Spending even though Spending was still in the that country, so he's still keeping in touch with that nurse. Olaide.
That's what they are trying
And
to
he came back to Nigeria again.
No, he came back to Nigeria after the monetization was created.
Please.
Yes.
Please, one very important question. And I'm not trying to nail anybody. This is me being sincere with you now. If I've been telling you lies for the past 6 months, this one I want to tell you is the truth. Now, if the nurse's mother said Spending, oh my goodness, Jesus, help my little life. If the nurse's mother said Spending has been using the nurse since 2019, and the nurse only had training for 4 years, when did she start practicing?
She can start practicing in 2019 and still start cheating Spending at that time. It's possible, yes.
And Spending has been using her before Spending went to
Spending left Nigeria or
Nigeria. Olaide.
Hold on, I'm not waiting for anybody. I'm not trying to see. On the
we are trying to see sense in it. You understand? Mr. Laide, we are trying to see sense in it. You get? Let's go over it again. If Spending has been using the nurse since 2019, then it's gonna be 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. Right? That'll be 4 years.
Yep.
Now the truth is, the question is, when precisely did she receive her training?
In the preliminary report, the name of the doctor that she received her training is in the preliminary report.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I have his name. Here.
Akute. So that's where we can ask that question. That when did she come? When did she start?
When did she start the training?
Olaide, if Spending would have said that he knows the nurse and the nurse has been having training to be a nurse, but he said he's been using. There are two different words.
No, they can still be using them now. Each talk in Nigeria, I know.
For himself or to recommend to people. Spending now, don't they recommend?
It happens in Lagos now. It happens in Lagos now. All these little girls are just learning how to do nursing this thing in the hospital. They come to teach people in their house now.
Yes. But something is not hard enough, like if you look at it.
I'm only just saying that it happens. I'm not saying.
Yeah, we know it happens. Okay, let's.
Okay, put it down.
Put it down. Put it down. It's a nice question, though. I'm only just saying.
No problem. Yeah. Mr. Andy, let's have you. Thank you, sir, Mr. Andy.
Good afternoon, good morning. I think let me start from this issue of nurse. I think we should not dwell too much when it's citizen or when she starts treating spending. What I think we should dwell on is very simple with the police report. And part of the question that we've asked down to transfer to the legal team of Joseph Oloba. When was the time this nurse was contacted? Who contacted him? What time? And what time did he arrive? And when he arrived, who was the first person he contacted at the Mo house? Who described Mo house to her? You understand me? Because she's never been in Mo house. I think this is what we should focus on. When she got into the house, does Wunmi introduce herself to her? Or who introduced Wunmi to her? This is where I think we should focus on. It's not when we start practicing. You understand me? I think that is where we want the nurse. And, well, whom did you treat? Why? From what we've heard, do they move the person from one room to another room? How are you so sure that it was Mohbad that you administered the 3 injection to? I think that area we should focus on. Who bailed you from the police custody? Why are we not hearing from you since then? This is some of the questions that we need to ask. When you are being detained for 4 months, what happened at the Panti police station? You understand me? And these are the questions that the legal team of Joseph Oloba going to ask the nurse. You understand? And some people have been wondering whether the nurse will be at the coroner inquest. The same thing you are asking is the same thing I have been asking. But we shouldn't forget, the legal team of Joseph Oloba, they fought very hard before this coroner inquest is coming up on the 20th, which is coming Wednesday. And everything was sealed on the 23rd of January before Joseph Oloba appeared at Berekete, at Abuja. And the coroner inquest, to my own understanding, is one off. Okay, if it's one off.
It's only Wednesday it's gonna happen. Only Wednesday.
That is my own understanding.
Okay.
Now, it is going to be another coroner inquest. Maybe when this one finish, maybe another coroner inquest will take place again. I don't know. You understand me? And that is that area. Regarding to police report, to me, that police report is not comprehensive. It's just a statement by the Lagos State Police. With the hope, when they said they are going to set up 30-man panel to investigate the death of Mohbad. This is over 6 months. I think they just set it up just to silence the people seeking for justice at the early stage of Mohbad. And when that was spread out to the whole world, I believe that they think that, after we've read this report, well, people will now face the nurse that you are the one that killed Mohbad, and everything will go solo. And we shouldn't forget, they tried to succeed on that because everybody came for the nurse, quack nurse, auxiliary nurse. Why did you use this substance? Why did you use this injection? Why did you use this blah blah? Everybody came for the nurse. But what happened? The Almighty of justice open our hearts, open our brain. We start asking series of questions, and more truth is coming out. And we got to realize that, oh, can it be a conspiracy from the Lagos State Police? And we have seen how they've conspired to lie to the whole world. And because now, according to what they've said, some substance were there, some injection were there. According to their own statement, 5 injection was there. They claim that the nurse said she used 3. They question to the Lagos State Police 13-man panel. The remaining 2 who use it, the iodine to do what? The spirit to do what? The gloves, who use them? This is a question that they fail within their own capacity to give us answer. Where is the Prado Jeep? According to them, that the glass broke. And to be honest, till this moment, the Lagos State Police have not given us a single evidence. What they gave us is just a statement. A statement, no single evidence. No single evidence. And they did not allow us, they did not allow the nurse to speak to the whole world. Is that a true statement from the police, or they try to nail the nurse? I believe there was a nurse. I will continue saying this. There was a nurse, and the nurse was not part of the old things at the beginning. They brought the nurse later, after Mohbad was killed. Because according to the Lagos State Police, the nurse arrived 1 p.m. on Tuesday. And I believe that majority of us, we agree that Mohbad was killed on Monday. And if Mohbad was killed on Monday, what was the purpose of the nurse?
Good question.
What was the purpose of the nurse on Tuesday 1 p.m.?
What you can't do?
Maybe she's there to come and treat the wounds stabbed. Maybe they use another person in exchange of Mohbad, and the person pretends to be Mohbad. But the truth of the matter is this. I think they are hiding something away from us from the north. Like I said, the legal team of Joseph Oloba, they fought very hard before the incoming coroner inquest that is going to take place on Wednesday. They fought very hard. They don't want the nurse to come to the coroner inquest. This is not about autopsy or toxicology or pathology. I don't know whatsoever the terms that you are using in the medical field. Let's put that one aside. Prime Boy have came online. He said few things.
Yes. So what I'm saying is, I don't think you see advising, spending, Prime Boy come out and say blah blah. I don't give a fuck about those people. the people that we need to talk to and who needs to get the hint of what is on ground are the legal team. They should be able to get their shit right. Put up questions that would bring about answers that would give us directions. They had the first opportunity and they blew it up. There were a lot of questions you're supposed to put out there. A lot of straight, right thinking questions. Wunmi was there. You asked Wunmi, why didn't you call Baba Mubad? And she said, because he doesn't like me. There are 1 million questions that would come after that response.
Oh,
what did the legal team do? What did the legal team do? They just like answer up like that. And you're telling me he didn't like you, and then his son died, and you went ahead to embalm, and you're telling me he did not like you. Who cares about if he likes you or not? That is a son for crying out loud.
So child, let me explain something to you. She knew like she knew what was going on. You know how how you prepare for a party, and like you dress up, and you choose whatever character you want to be, and you go to attend the party, and everyone is doing whatever they want to do. That's what she thought she was doing, because she knew. I met the legal team, or her legal team, the Falano and Co. They had let her know that, oh, don't worry, this is how we're going to do it and everything. So no pressure. We're just going to ask you a few questions. You don't have to answer it. If you don't want to answer it, no problem. It's left to you. Right now, the legal team is telling her, probably saying, oh, just say this is the time where you have to talk now. This is the time where you have to talk now, because the power is not in their hands anymore. Like, I'm sorry. That's why I said both defense teams need to ask and interrogate both parties.
Yeah,
Just what I mean.
I think the legal team are actually hiding under the fact that Falano is a senior advocate. Like, let me just take it to the streets.
Wait, sorry, who? Like, which legal team? Baba's legal team?
Baba's legal team.
Yeah,
so I'm actually saying they need to do better this time around. This is like a second opportunity to correct the first mistake. So they're actually dealing with Falano from the angle of is a boss. So they were trading something. Okay, this is your job, for crying out loud.
And he was the one that set it all up. And they need to understand that Falano is not the only son. There are governors there are men who have been in governors, and there are politicians who are sons as well. They just didn't decide to go to the judicial route, or sleep in the judicial route. Falano is not the only son. They need to understand that and recognize that. And he's not the greatest son. He's one of the greatest.
That is what me and you would actually say from a logical angle. But the thing is, please reduce that thing. The thing is, here in Nigeria, they want to be loyal to people for the dumbest reasons you could ever think of. Because I don't see a reason where you are actually called on they came to seek your how do I put it? You are appointed to take up a case against another person, and then you're trading softly instead of you to come out in all force to ask the right questions. It's supposed to be Glasgow, but these people were just so quiet. Like
Charles,
everything that he wants to do.
Yeah, so the reason, I wouldn't totally blame them. Like, I blame them obviously, like, from your venting and everything, but I wouldn't totally blame them. Because guess what? They are just barristers and lawyers. Falano is a son. Oh, this is a murder case. This is a serious case. We believe that our great son would follow due procedure and do
no, sweetheart, no. That is not how it works.
Yes,
Falano is actually representing his client, and he's doing everything in his power to make sure his client doesn't go down for this.
That is the same thing that I'm saying, but they probably did not know.
Why wouldn't they know? This is something they actually. This is their profession, for crying out loud. Why would they not know? If they don't know the work, when they go, they still CD for Alaba International. Why would they come out and say they are barristers and they don't know the ethics of their job?
So we've made so many mistakes in the past, like since we started this journey and justice for Mohbad. Like, there's been so many mistakes, even on TikTok, so many mistakes. That's why I'm saying this time is very, very crucial. Like, it's golden opportunity.
like to get everything out. Do you understand? So I was just saying, like, giving an analogy that, you know, in everybody's church mind, you know, they would believe that, oh, Falana would do the right thing, and that's why, you know, they were like, you know, just going with, you know, the fact that, okay, oh, Falana, I believe that you've seen and you can see, or you know, you're seeing what's happening, but they didn't understand that he was going in favor of, you know, this said woman. Do you understand what I mean?
Sweetheart, there is no way anybody would want to, any sane person who knows the ethnic of the profession he or she is trying to talk about would say, okay, they are expecting Falana to do the right by them, and you know fully well that this guy is actually representing his client. See, even if it is clear that Wunmi actually paid more, Falana is there to protect Wunmi and make sure she doesn't go to jail. That is his client, for crying out loud. There is no ethnicity attached to this thing. It's his client. If, for example, Falana happens to be Baba Mohbad's client, then and Falana is acting the way he's acting now, that is when you can actually fault Falana. Falana is doing what it's supposed to do as a legal team to a client. So if Baba Mohbad's legal team is saying that they are expecting Falana to act in a particular kind of way because we know him to be an activist and we are expecting him, he's supposed to be a Christian, he's supposed to have he's supposed to know that Wunmi did wrong and not that is the lie. This is his job. It's actually standing for his client.
Yes, so I believe that now. Do you understand? Like, I believe that as we speak, you know, they have gotten grip and understanding of what's happening and what's going on. It's like no retreat, no surrender. You know, no mercy, game time. Do you understand what I mean? Like, you know, you have to put all your armor on, you know, in order to defend and, you know, fight the legal, you know, standing on this matter. Do you understand? I believe that they know this now, and that's why I was like, you know, they need to ask like every question in detail, and they need to work with time, because if they don't work with time in the court of law, you know, when the autopsy is released, we're still going to be trying to figure out, okay, so what time exactly did he really die? So now, are we going to go back into court and be like, figure out, oh, I start questioning everybody. So where were you at so and so time? What were you doing at so and so time? Like, we need to get everything out so that when the autopsy like results come out eventually, and they're able to give us a time of death, we would have everything like together, like incoherent. Like, we're not going to be having like informations in pieces here and there scattered. Like, we'll have everything together in one piece, right? And then we'll understand exactly what is going on with justice for Mohbad and who really did, like, you know, kill him.
Sorry. Okay, so my thing now is that
first mistake we can actually make is when the legal team for Baba Mohbad has been compromised. That is the worst mistake we would make on this course for finding justice, because all they've actually done so far is that it's actually tilting towards the angle that these people have been compromised. This is your job, for crying out loud. There is just no way, thank you, sweetheart, there is just no way in the world you would come out and claim that you're trying to okay, now you know better. Then why did you go to a law school? You should have just done something else. Maybe something else, business management or something. Is it now that you're supposed to know that you're supposed to come all the way out? It will even be a plus. It will be a plus when you bring up a case against Falana, and even though you did not win him outrightly, but then everybody sees that you put in an effort and then you actually did a great job. It will be another feather to your cap. Why would anybody wants to? This is a murder case, for crying out loud. This is like a top layer when it comes.
Okay, let me throw in the towel here. This is between the state and the accused persons. We have to know that, right? Now, at the inquest, what the inquest is all about is about, you know, piecing what happened, everybody's story, what's going on, what went wrong, what did not go wrong, you know, what happened, what is happening now, everything together. So because the way you guys are saying it is like, oh, Baba's team will come out and start asking questions directly and all of that, you know. So that's my question there. Is that your understanding?
Yeah, it's this. The coroner inquest is just to gather information as to what happened, like ask questions. Yes, so it actually placed Babatin in a position where they can actually, if you want to get information, you need to ask questions. Then, if you want to get the right information, you need to ask the right questions. This was an opportunity for Babatin to ask the right questions. What the result we're supposed to get from the coroner inquest initially was a lead way as to what happened. If not 100%, like a large percentage of it, we need to know what really happened right in the house. Now, because some people are trying to hide under a certain cover, it is now left for Babatin to uncover these puzzles. Now, by asking the right questions, you're not supposed to, just because Falana calls for Corona, that doesn't mean everything has to run by Falana's rule. You're supposed to call. How do you get information, for crying out loud? For that's a Corona inquest that we had initially was supposed to bring us to a point where we have, if not all the informations, most of the informations as to what happened in the house. But they did not take advantage of that opportunity to get the result that they're supposed to get at the time. Okay, what happened if they did not, if the second request for the opening of Corona was not granted? Nothing. There's nothing. They went to Corona and they did not come out with anything whatsoever.
Yeah, Ryan, sorry, Chel. Ryan, you made a valid point. I want to take my mind back to the month of January where there were some rooms hosting, and I remember Lagata also hosted a room where he was like that. The coroner inquest needs to be reopened, and hopefully when the coroner inquest reopens, we would have specific requests. Do you understand, from the states? In order for us to really hit the coroner. So I'm grateful for the previous coroner inquest. Do you understand how it went slavishly, but it kind of opened up the minds of us on this side who are seeking justice for Mohbad to be able to see how it is performed. But how that was performed is not the way it should be performed. It's a murder situation. It's okay for the state to allow the coroner inquest, right? We just only need a state. We only need a state judge, to kind of govern the situation, right? And have both defense parties present, and have the people, first of all, the prime suspects, come up on the stand, and then additional people. Okay, so for example now, Wunmi's lawyers can come and say, oh, we want to bring our weakness, because she says she's a weakness, right? We want to bring our weakness to the stand. Baba Mohbad's lawyers should be able to interrogate Wunmi on that stand while after her defense team is done with her. Do you understand? That is how it should go. And then from there, they can be able to gather all the information that they need from the coroner inquest. Because guess what? If both parties do not question or interrogate the other, it's not going in anybody's favor. Do you understand what I mean? Even if Prime Boy comes up and then, let's say, because this is I don't know if the court system is, or the court system can actually be a game of chess. Do you understand? So if Baba Mohbad's team bring up Prime Boy to the stand, and Wunmi's team say, oh, they want to interrogate Prime Boy, no problem. Then Wunmi can tell them what questions she wants them to ask, or and have all that prior to the set time. If her questions don't make sense, the lawyer is not going to ask that question. If the question is not within the what should we call it, the murder time and the murder scenario of Mohbad, the lawyer's not going to ask that question. And if the lawyer decides to ask that question, or maybe ask about maybe 2022 and say, oh, Mohbad, Prime, did you ever make advances on Wunmi in 2022? Those type of things. If you go and ask that kind of stupid question and trigger Prime Boy to shalaye everything, and trigger him to say everything he needs to say, and literally shoot you in the foot, right there, or right in your forehead. Do you understand? So this kind of thing can go always. Do you understand? Like, it could go great and it could go bad. It could only go bad if, Baba Mohbad's lawyers are not interrogating the opposite, the defense, party. Do you understand? Because I've heard Prime Boy speak. I've heard Spending speak. I feel like Spending is just probably waiting or lying low. I can't really tell, but I know that Prime Boy, seems to like be heated up, wanting to speak and say stuff. And then I feel like if he even sees her like this, he can just start talking. Do you understand? And everything. So I believe that it would go great if, in the coroner inquest, all we need is just the state, judge, who is gonna keep the room in order, right? And have both defense teams and, their weakness and the suspects and, defense, everybody, Mama Mohbad, Baba Mohbad, Wunmi, and, her, counterparts and everybody, getting things, rolling. Do you understand? Everybody needs to be in the courtroom. We need media because the last coroner inquest, I'm still shocked that, they don't have anything. They don't have anything. Nobody jotted and nobody has audio of things that happen. Like, they're saying they don't have this, they don't have that. They're gonna go through the files. What is that? Nobody has time for that. Do you understand? Like, media is like everywhere. Do you understand? So people are holding their phones. People are holding camera everywhere. People, like, cameraman is ready to take you wait and get at every given point in time. So is the videographer. Do you understand? So, like, we need media in that scenario because that way, we can see, we can hear, and we can know, like, how everybody is feeling and what everybody is saying. And when they said what they said. And that way they won't be able to take it back. If you alter your conversation right now, that past coroner inquest has kind of given this lady like more leverage, to change her story. Do you understand? If she wants, but she can go ahead and change it. But as far as I'm concerned, and as far as I would hope, is that Baba Mohbad's team don't sleep on this situation. Like, this is really the time to really get to the nitty gritty and hit the nail on the freaking head. I hope that makes sense because I don't know how they're going to be doing it because I felt that the last time it was a thing of they just had somebody asking the prime suspect questions and asking the weakness questions, and that was it. So it had better not go that way this time around. If it goes that way this time around, God Almighty who made me, I will go the route I want to go. And everybody else can go the route they want to go because I'll be livid at that point.
Yeah, but you have actually hit the nail. I was of the same opinion earlier before you actually joined that this time around is our opportunity, like our golden opportunity. We need the legal team to be hands-on. They need to do all they know how to do. They need to be extremely professional because they are not standing against a baby son when it comes to law and cases. Falana is not a baby son. It's not somebody who just take someone from someone that's just finished from law school to go and stand up against. We need people that really know what they are doing. We need the people you can liken to be doggedness when it comes to law, the crazy ones, those that know exactly what they are doing and they are ready to do everything when it comes to questioning people to get what they want to get. We don't need them to play this time around because if at the end of this coroner inquest we are still on the spot that we are, it will be difficult for us to get what we have been aiming at. So this is an opportunity for us to actually get the justice that we have been crying for and we have all hoped for. So I just pray that God will strengthen them and lead them aright to know what to do and how to go about this case. I rest for now.
Thanks, Posh Kemi. Ryan, are you there? Ryan?
I'm here. I was just trying to get into a meeting and get something out here so I can bring here. But quickly, that's why I left the floor for every one of you the panelists to continue deliberating.
Can you find out how they're going to run this inquest?
That's what I'm about to find out.
One. Yeah, yes. Bossman, if you know, just share with us. Sorry, I have to go on mute so I don't make too much noise.
No, go ahead. You guys talk, and then I'll get back to you with that. Okay, I'll get back to you on that. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So
Hi, Bossman.
Panel for you guys. Go ahead.
Sure. Hi, Bossman. Hello, bossman. Please, Chel and Poshkem, let's talk a bit.
Chel, Poshkem is here. Abby Nation, bossman is behind the scene as